Here is the city of Lagos, known for its hustling and bustling, people and vehicles moving in various directions. It's a busy city. But here comes a place in Lekki with roads buzzed with impatient car horns. In the heart of this urban chaos stood the sprawling, tastefully furnished duplex of the Banjos, a beautiful couple in their twenties. Actually, Aki is 30 years old, married to his young, beautiful wife, who is now 24 years old. Meet the Banjos. A beautiful family portrait, right? They look ravishing and happy together. Aki, Moyo, his wife, and their little daughter Darasimi. But to outsiders, Moyo Banjo was the poster wife, elegant, soft-spoken, and endlessly supportive of her husband, Akin Banjo, a rising tech entrepreneur whose company had just closed a multi-million naira funding round. Wow. Their Instagram pages told stories of candlelight dinners. But behind the high gates, Moyo lived a reality that twisted her stomach every morning. Aki was charming in public, but ruthless in private. His love came with conditions, and over time, she stopped recognizing the man she married. The man who married her when she was quite young. She was 19 years old when she married Akin because she was so much in love and of course was deceived by his charm. Well, it began subtly. Comments such as how she doesn't ever add up weight, the way she laughed, the friends she kept. He once told her, "You talk too much, Moyo. A good woman knows when to shut up." Oftentimes Moyo feels embarrassed and insulted by those words, all of those gaslighting. Well, soon the criticisms turned into full-blown control. He checked her phone, deleted mail contacts without asking, and decided which clothes were decent enough for her to wear. If she protested, he gave her the silent treatment for days or gaslight her into apologizing. Yes, Moyo is one who always apologizes at all times, even when she is not wrong. But the real shift happened after his promotion. He started coming home late, showering the moment he entered, and guarding his phone like a nuclear device. But one night, while he slept, Moyo dared to check it. That's when her heart shattered. There were messages, explicit ones, of course, from multiple women, videos, voice notes. The most painful, a video of Akin in bed with one of their mutual friends, the same woman who had attended Darasimi's birthday, their daughter. Of course, she didn't confront him. Well, not yet. She swallowed it for weeks. She watched him act normal, kiss her on the forehead, play with Darasimi like nothing was broken. But every kiss felt like betrayal. Every "I love you" tasted like poison. As if it wasn't enough with all of the insults and all the ill treatment, Akin is actually cheating, not just with one person, but multiple partners, and worst of all, a close mutual friend of theirs. She wanted to scream, she wanted to leave, but where would she go? She hadn't even worked in 5 years. Akin made sure she stayed home to focus on being a mother. He had full control over their finances, her family, her family would say, "Endure, at least he is providing." It was all about the money for her family. Then one night, he slapped her. It wasn't just a slap, but it was a hard slap, and it was his first. And of course, it didn't end there, it continued. But she had asked about a receipt she found in his jeans. That was just all the sin she committed. Two wine glasses and a hotel room at Eco's signature. It was a question. She confronted her husband as every wife would do. And then here goes Akin, who backed his eyes wide open. "Are you mad?" he said. "Is this how low you are falling? Snooping through my clothes like a common maid?" The slap again came swiftly, and the look of disgust that followed it stayed with Moyo. The next morning, he left 200,000 naira on the kitchen counter with a note: "Use this to get yourself something nice and stop acting stupid." That was when Moyo began to plan. Not revenge, no, but freedom. She needed her freedom, and she wanted it so badly. She began saving secretly, took freelance remote gigs, writing blogs under a pseudonym. She reconnected with her old university roommate, who was now a therapist. She began journaling, writing down everything: dates, incidents, messages, evidence. She started therapy quietly and worked out legal steps to reclaim her agency and daughter. She wanted a divorce. But one thing terrified her. If she spoke, if she told her family, the media, or even Akin himself, he could destroy her. His influence reached deep. He knew how to play the victim. This is always what he does. And she feared losing her daughter in a bitter custody fight. Because Akin, of course, has all the money and all the influence. And she wouldn't dare want to lose the only one thing that gives her joy: her daughter Darasimi. Still, her journal grew heavier. One night, after putting Dara to bed, Moyo sat in the home office and opened her laptop. Akin had left it open. His messages were up again, but this time it wasn't just women. It was a thread between Akin and his financial advisor, detailing illegal transactions, tax fraud, ghost employee accounts, and stolen client data. Wow! Aki was not just a womanizer. Aki was not just an abusive partner. Aki was actually stealing from the company. What a big fraud. Now the stakes were higher even more. If she spoke, she wouldn't just lose her marriage. She could trigger a scandal, legal investigations, even danger. But if she kept quiet, she would be living like a prisoner in her own life. If she spoke out, she would lose her marriage. The next morning, Aki came down for breakfast. And while they were having their breakfast, Aki noticed that Moyo was cold, and then he asked a question. "You're quiet," he said, sipping his coffee. Moyo looked up, but her hands trembling under the table. "I'm just tired," she said. He nodded, but in her mind she whispered, "If I speak, my marriage dies. But if I don't, what would happen to me?" She reached into her bag. The flash drive was there, holding everything. She had all of the evidence in one flash drive. The evidence that would shatter her husband, the evidence that would leave her free, the evidence that could kill her marriage. And who knows, she may even lose her life in the process, as Akin is very brutal. But would she hand it over? Would she walk away? Or would she just burn with a secret she never told? She wondered, because if she does this, not just her life would go, but her family would practically disown her. Her family adored Akin so much because he would shower them with money. It seems it was all about money for them. And again she wondered, what would people say? People never knew what she was going through. What would they begin to say about her? Moyo was devastated. If I speak, my marriage dies. And that is how it goes for Moyo. Kindly comment your advice for Moyo and anyone in this situation. My name is Nkemdili Mokoye Jebe. I'm a certified marriage, family, and mental health counselor. This is Nkem's Chambers. I would like that to subscribe for more videos. However, the moral lesson in this story, if I speak, my marriage dies, is multi-layered actually, reflecting deeply on silence, emotional abuse, and the societal pressure to maintain appearance. Now, silence can be destructive. Emotional abuse is very real. Society shouldn't glorify endurance at all costs. Healing takes courage, and not all that glitters is gold. We should prioritize speaking out. Silence is never the answer, actually. So, if you are in this situation and you are stuck, you don't know what to do, kindly get my contact on the bio and have a private session with me. Do not wait till it's too late. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to this channel. Kindly like, comment, and share. And then I will see you in the next video.